Long debate over a dam project in Oregon was resolved when all parties agreed to tear down 4 dams along the Klamath River. Native American tribes, farmers, fishermen, and conservation groups battled each other over access and control of scarce water supplies in the region.
This is the largest dam removal and river restoration project in the United States.
My message to the president: stop resorting to hydroelectric dams as a power source. Instead, utilize alternative methods that do not interrupt the migratory routes of fish species. For nearly 100 years, dams on the Klamath River have blocked salmon and steelhead trout from reaching more than 400 miles of habitat, encroached on indigenous culture, and harmed water quality for people and wildlife. But now, 4 dams, J.C. Boyle, Copco No. 1, Copco No. 2, and Iron Gate, built between 1908 and 1962, are down. This river restoration program will have lasting benefits for the river, salmon, and communities throughout the Klamath Basin.
We all came together and basically say, we have 2 issues going on here. We have the folks that live on the river. We need to come to some kind of place where we have a consensus or agreement on how the Klamath River needs to be managed.
These reservoirs were developed as state-of-the-art power generation facilities that we knew then and now recognize and understand a little better the impacts.
The purpose of a dam is to impound water, wastewater, or liquid-borne materials for any of several reasons, such as flood control, human water supply, irrigation, livestock water supply, energy generation, containment of mild tailings, recreation, or pollution control. The U.S. hydropower industry currently accounts for approximately 200,000 to 300,000 jobs. Hydroelectric dams produce 80 to 100 terawatt-hours per year, enough to supply between 70 million and 8 million households. Small-scale micro hydropower projects also make a big difference to communities in remote locations.
Every type of power generation has its drawbacks.
Dams block fish from moving along their natural pathways between feeding and spawning grounds, causing interruptions in their life cycles that limit their reproduction abilities. In the United States, more than 2 million dams and other barriers block fish from migrating upstream. As a result, many fish populations have declined. Reduced fish populations affect the entire ecosystem, since they're often important prey for other animals. They're often crucial to commercial and recreational fisheries, so reduced numbers can impact local economies as well. Rivers are very dynamic systems, always changing shape and moving things from headwaters downstream like giant conveyor belts.
Between the communities, the water in the rivers for fish, for us, is very important for the tribes, and is having this open dialogue with each other. We may not always agree, but we always are still at the table with each other, working with each other, listening to each other.
And the preparations to rebuild communities that were wiped out by the building of dams some 70 years ago.
Salmon are anadromous. This means they start their lives in freshwater, migrate to the ocean where they grow, then return home to their natal or birth streams to spawn and die. Less than a month after 4 dams on the Klamath River were demolished, hundreds of salmon made it into waters they had been cut off from for decades to spawn in the adjoining creeks.
And so we've already seen, like I mentioned earlier, a return of a natural temperature and water quality regime, and a return of anadromous fish passage. It took a week. It took 1 week. That Iron Gate Dam was removed, and it was the last one to finish the removal process. And adult Chinook were spotted up here in the Klamath River.
It's about affordable energy.
I think it's really important that we as a society start transitioning to other energy sources, such as biomass, which reduces waste, is carbon neutral, and is widely available, or nuclear energy, created in the form of heat through the fission process of atoms. Both are highly effective and becoming more advanced every year. My hope is that the fish can continue to perform their vital role in the ecosystem, and we can finally open our eyes to the detrimental effects of damming rivers. These natural resources do not need to be controlled, only protected and admired. Every choice has an impact, and with your position of authority as the leader of our country, it is up to you to create these changes for our generation and the generations to come.